Pope Leo XIV is making a bold bet. He has embraced the vision of a synodal church, one that listens, walks together, and seeks to engage the modern world. But there is a concern. Cardinals warn it risks changing the very nature of the Catholic Church. So what is a synodal church? Synodal church is about a way of living and working together as a community, rather than relying solely on a top-down hierarchy. It's a structure designed to gather feedback from local parishes so the Pope and bishops can better understand the needs of the faithful while making final decisions. But this isn't the first time the Church has tried to modernize to save itself. In fact, we've been running this exact experiment for almost 60 years. And if we look at the evidence, the results aren't just concerning, they're catastrophic. Since the Second Vatican Council and the introduction of the new Mass in the 1960s, the strategy was clear: make the Church more accessible, more relevant, and more participatory. But what happened? Mass attendance. In the US, weekly attendance plummeted from 75% in 1958 to barely 22% today. Belief in the real presence of Holy Communion. The single biggest driver of Eucharistic belief across both rites is faith is not nurtured purely by routine or frequency, but by the depth of reverence, posture, and sacred awe that surrounds the Blessed Sacrament. Whether in traditional or modern liturgical settings, cultivating silence, bodily humility, and a profound respect for the Eucharist remains vital for sustaining and transmitting belief in the real presence. The priesthood. In 1965, there were 49,000 seminarians in America. Today, fewer than 3,000. That's a 90% collapse. In the United States, fertility tradition communities show 125% bigger families, maybe due to adherence to church teaching on contraception. Only 2% of tradition attendees approve of artificial contraception. Roughly 89% of broader Novus Ordo Catholics approve of artificial contraception. Since the 1960s, over 7,000 Catholic schools have closed or merged, and thousands of parishes have shut their doors. While NBR Economic Research tracks the sharp decline in mass attendance, data from Georgetown's CARA shows the real-world impact on American communities. Their research confirmed what traditionalists have said for decades: the modernization didn't stop the bleeding, it accelerated it. So we have to ask the hard question. If listening and adapting to the spirit of the age caused a 90% drop in vocations and a mass exodus of the faithful, why does Leo believe that doubling down on this same strategy through synodality will suddenly work? The synodal model asks, what is the Spirit saying to us now? But perhaps the Spirit has already spoken through the fruits of the last 6 decades. When you replace the sacred mystery of the traditional Mass with community discussion, when you prioritize inclusivity over immutable truth, you don't get growth. You get a church that looks increasingly like the world it's trying to please, and the world has no need for a copy of itself. Contrast this with the traditional communities. While the mainstream church merges parishes, traditional institutes are opening new seminaries, ordaining record numbers of young priests, and filling churches to capacity. They aren't listening to the world to change their message. They are offering the world something it cannot find anywhere else: the eternal, the sacred, and the unchanging truth. The data suggests that people don't leave the modern church because it's too rigid. They leave because it's too weak. Several prominent cardinals have raised serious alarm. Their primary concern is that the synodal path risks trading 2,000 years of Catholic doctrine for administrative process and secular consensus. Cardinal Raymond Burke warns that synodality lacks a clear definition or historical precedent as a constitutive element of the Church. He has called for the synodality process to be stopped entirely because it contradicts the divine constitution of the Church as a hierarchy established by Christ. Cardinal Gerhard Müller cautions that an over-reliance on endless listening sessions creates an inverted pyramid of governance, effectively replacing sacramental leadership with secular bureaucracy. He stated that treating all voices as equal in doctrinal matters leads to relativism, where truth is decided by consensus rather than revelation. He has stated certain synodal proposals, such as blessings for same-sex unions, is blasphemous and a sin against the Holy Spirit, because they attempt to legitimize what the Church defines as sin. Alongside figures like Cardinal Robert Sarah and Cardinal Walter Brandmüller, sent doctrinal questions to Rome. Their shared message remains clear. When process overshadows the gospel, the Church risks losing its prophetic voice to ambiguity. Pope Leo XIV hopes that a Church that listens will survive. But history tells a different story. A Church that compromises its transcendence to fit the times doesn't survive. It fades away. After 60 years of decline, can we really afford another 60 years of the same experiment? Or is it time to return to the roots that actually produced saints? The fruits are clear. The question is, will Catholics follow the modern Church with Leo or the true Church with Jesus Christ?